what up, world? B Marsh Boxing. And I'm back at it once again. Another post fight review, post fight results. Excellent fight put on by the heavyweights. Gotta give it up to him tonight. Andy Ruiz, Mexico versus Cuba. Andy Ruiz versus Luis Ortiz. Very good fight. Let me hear what the man, the destroyer, got to say right quick. Really and truly, I didn't see any change in Andy Ruiz's physique. I have not seen a change in Andy Ruiz's physique in none of his fights after he became world champion. Andy Ruiz. The first round was a pretty close round. Ortiz was more active. You know what I mean? Andy Ruiz landed a big body shot. Luis Ortiz had a beautiful counter, a 1-2-1. You know what I mean? A jab, straight left hand, and the jab right behind it. But the man Andy Ruiz landed slightly more punches, so I had to give him round one. Round two was the best round for. Luis Ortiz hyping up the Mexican fans. Sorry, Andy Ruiz. Wilder versus Ortiz. Yeah. All right, let me get back to my post-fight review. So, round two, like I said, Andy Ruiz, man, he got it popping. Or Luis Ortiz was boxing well, you know what I mean? Boxing in the groove, you know what I mean? Now he even got his hands down, throwing that jab, pop, looking like Ray Leonard out there, you know what I mean? Circling and shit. But then he throws a lazy one, too. And he forgot who he's fucking with in there, man. The fastest hands in heavyweight boxing. Uh-oh, Deontay Wilder in the ring. Hold tight. Let me hear what the man Wilder got to say. Hold up, y'all. Let, let me hear what Wilder got to say. American heavyweight boxing. Top Rank got the youngins. PBC got the old heads. Wilder got focused on Hellenius first. Deontay Wilder and BK and NY in October. But back to it. So Luis Ortiz, like I said, was outboxing the man Andy Ruiz in round two. Then he threw a lazy 1-2. Then he got countered over the top with a big shot. The same shot that put Anthony Joshua down. A right hand over the top on the temple, head area. Boom. Ruiz goes down. He's hurt bad. He gets up. The man Andy Ruiz throws some little small flurry, and he kind of shoved the man Luis Ortiz. Boom. He goes down again. I mean, so that's already a 10-7 round. But Luis Ortiz gets back up, and he does. He's now hurt, got cobwebs in his eyes, but the man lines up a beautiful left hand. Actually, a couple of them, two of them. I mean? Still lost the round, 10-7. Round three was a slow round, but Luis Ortiz is active, throwing the jab from distance, circling on the outside, circling towards his right. Landy Ruiz was waiting for the counter shot, but not really letting his hands go. But he does throw a big right hook to the body. Right to the breadbasket, right into the pit of the stomach of Luis Ortiz. But that's a round I gave to Luis Ortiz. Round five, Luis Ortiz controlling the pace with the jab, Ruiz is patiently waiting for the counter shot, but he's a little too far on the outside, But big body shot again comes from the man Andy Ruiz when the man Andy Ruiz would close the distance. And how would he close the distance? Usually it's when the man Luis Ortiz is trying to throw combinations and maybe a few of them didn't get in. By that time, he's a little close, and that's giving the man Andy Ruiz to destroy an opportunity for the counter because that's what he's waiting for, y'all. That's what he's waiting for all night, all day, every day. You know what I mean? Round six was another round I gave to Ortiz. You know what I mean? He was boxing well, fighting from the outside. Round seven, Ortiz is boxing, but he gets caught. You know, he's boxing well, but he gets caught with a big right hand. You know what I mean? Um, you know, and it's just a big, mean right hand that the man Andy Ruiz threw when he closed the distance, and he cracked Luis Ortiz over the top with a big right hand. And that's another knockdown, you know what I mean? So round seven, I gave it to the man Andy Ruiz. You check it. That's a 10-8 round, you know what I mean? Round eight, or excuse me, round eight, Luis Ortiz is boxing. He's landing more punches with the jab. He's establishing his distance, you know what I mean? You know, after he gets put on the canvas, it's like something snaps in him. Let me box. And he starts boxing beautifully, you know what I mean? You check it. And Andy Ruiz body shot when he closes the distance, you know what I mean? And Andy Ruiz threw a beautiful, fast combination, you know, but that's a round I still gave to the man, Andy Ruiz. I'm sorry, Luis Ortiz. Round nine was a close round, you know, that I gave to Andy Ruiz, you know what I mean? Andy Ruiz was patiently waiting for the counter shots, and he did land some big right hands, stopping the man Luis Ortiz in his tracks. Round 10, the man Luis Ortiz is outboxing Andy Ruiz to destroy. He's outboxing him with the jab circling to his right. You know what I mean? Flicking out that jab and occasionally landing the left hand. Not really throwing. The man, Luis Ortiz, ain't really for the hooks and he ain't really for the body shots. You know what I mean? He's really more throwing some straight punches from the outside when he's in a groove. You know what I mean? Round 11, Ortiz is boxing well. Then he gets caught. He gets caught in round 11. You know, if he really went hard body and win the championship rounds, he has a shot to win this fight, even over being after being dropped three times. You know what I mean? But he gets caught with a big right hand that makes his left eye rattle. You know what I mean? His left eye was already swollen already. You know what I mean? From the big right hands that the man Andy Ruiz was landing. You know what I mean? So that's a round. You know, it was a close round. You know, could have gone either way. But I thought even though Luis Ortiz was boxing well for maybe the first 2 minutes, maybe first minute and a half of round 11, just that big shot and more occurring shots from the man Andy Ruiz had to give it up to him. I gave him that round. Round 12 was Luis Ortiz going for broke. You know what I mean? Landed big left hands. You know what I mean? The man Andy Ruiz is now more on the back foot. He's not really throwing punches like that. And finally, somebody got caught on the ropes, and this was the first time for the whole fight that somebody's back was against the ropes, and it was actually Andy Ruiz. And Luis Ortiz was going in for the kill. He lands a big left hand. I mean, he's going in for the kill, and before you know it, some more punches were coming. But Andy Ruiz, you know, slips and slides a couple punches, and he gets the fuck up out of dodge, gets out that corner. You know what I mean? But round 12 was a good round for Luis Ortiz. You check it. So let me tally up my scorecard for y'all one time. Round one, I gave to Luis Ortiz. Andy Ruiz. Round two, Andy Ruiz. Um, round seven, Andy Ruiz. Um, round nine, Andy Ruiz. And round 11, I gave to Andy Ruiz. You know what I mean? So I had this fight 7 rounds to 5 in favor of the man Luis Ortiz. You check it, but with the knockdowns, 115, 113, the man lost a fight on my card. Unfortunately for Luis Ortiz, you know, he lost the fight on my card 113 to 112. Damn shame for him, you know, because this guy was, for old head at 43 years old, he was outboxing the man Andy Ruiz. You know what I mean? Andy Ruiz had his hands in his pocket for the most part. Wasn't letting his hands go because he's waiting for that counter shot because he knows how fast and immaculate hand speed that he has at the heavyweight division. And actually, that's what bailed him out. All them knockdowns that the man Luis Ortiz got dropped with were from the quick hand speed, you know what I mean? And especially them shots to the temple. Two of them were to the temple, you know what I'm saying? And it puts the big man down, you know what I mean? That's what, 3-2? That's 5 times a man has been down Luis Ortiz in his last 2 fights. Now, albeit he's an older guy, I think he's still got a lot of fights left in him, or a few more fights at least in this boxing game. I don't think he should retire just of yet, you know what I mean? But Andy Ruiz wins this fight 113-112 on my scorecard. You know what I'm saying? Please hit the thumbs up when y'all come in this piece. Yeah, I mean, hit the thumbs up when I'm giving y'all this post-fight review, round by round scorecard. You check it. If it wasn't for the knockdowns, Andy Ruiz would not have won this fight. You know what I mean? If nobody had got knocked down, he'd have lost this fight on my card 7 rounds to 5. You know what I mean? But a very good fight all the way. You know, I have to give it up to Andy Ruiz. The quick head speed bailed him out. You know what I mean? And bailed him out. Luis Ortiz, I'm not going to say he's chinny. I mean, the man got caught on the temple. That's the kind of shots that'll put anybody down, really and truly. You know what I mean? It's very hard to not go down after getting hit with a temple shot. You check it? So this fight got called a unanimous decision. I believe one judge had it the same scorecard like I did. What you call it? 113-112. You know what I mean? But very good fight, very entertaining fight. Give it up to both these guys. Putting on for the Latinos, Cuba versus Mexico. Very good fights, you know what I mean? Definitely very good fights when it comes to Cuba versus Mexico or Mexico versus Puerto Rico. Let me know how you guys had this fight on your scorecard. What up, Mike 104? What's happening, G? Um, Let me know what you guys how you guys had this fight on your scorecards. I had this fight 113-112 in favor of the man Andy Ruiz. You know what I mean? I had the fight 7 rounds to 5 in favor of the man Luis Ortiz, but the 3 knockdowns nullified the scorecard, and unfortunately for the old guy, he takes another loss. Not like he took a loss recently. I mean, I think his last loss was to Wilder, but this was a WBC title eliminator. I'm not too sure what Deontay Wilder versus Robert Helenius fight is going to be as far as is it going to be an eliminator? I'm not too sure. I do know that I think, if I'm not mistaken, Deontay Wilder is the #1 contender still with the WBC. You know what I mean? So we shall see. Good night of boxing. Be Marsh Boxing. Leave your thoughts and comments. If you're new to the channel, please share and subscribe. Hit the thumbs up on your way in and on your way out. And I'll catch you guys on the next one, all right? I'm gone. Peace.